Greetings, coders. This is the tutorial video for lesson 5. I wish I can be there with you guys today, but this is going to have to do. So those of you who finished lesson 5, this is a chance to basically see all the right answers. I'm going to kind of do a speed run through this lesson to kind of give you all the answers. So again, a variable is a way for us to store information. And again, the word variable means that it's a value that can change over time. Okay, you guys already watched this video. So I'm going to go ahead and skip it. What will this code do? What will happen if you change a number in line 1? So basically, this is going to make an ellipse, right? Starting in the X position, which is going to be 50 at the first, then 350. So if I hit the show grid, it's going to be at 50, 350. So the ellipse is going to start right about here, right? And it's going to be 100 by 100. So it's going to be like a corner circle right here. So if I hit run, there we go. We have a corner circle. Now, if I change the number, for example, 200, right, then it would be like around here, right? It would be around 200, 350. Okay, so that's kind of like your prediction, and you're going to write that in. Let's go ahead and hit finish. Okay, you guys already again watched the video on a variable. It's just basically a container to store a value. It could change. We can use the assignment operator and change the value. Let's go and go to step number 4 here. Okay, so in which corner of the screen will this circle be drawn? So you have an X position of 300. So if I show grid, 300 is right here, right? This line, and the Y value 100 is right here, right? So basically, it should be a ellipse around 300, 100, which is right here. So I should see a circle whose center is at 300, 100. Okay, and let's see if I'm right. And voila, 300 by 100. Okay, let's go and hit finish. All right, so step number 5, naming variables. The program has multiple errors caused by a bad variable label. The errors prevent the program from being viewed in block mode, so the code in the text. Below are a few rules for naming variables. Click hints and helps above to read more. Labels can't have spaces. Labels can't start with a number. And capitalization and spelling must be exactly the same. So again, you can't have a variable start with a number. So let's go ahead and delete that. And I think what they're doing is the X variable, right? So let's just call it X dimension if it's going to be anything. And over here, Y location looks good. Size of circle, it cannot have spaces. So if we want to do size of circle, we should do something like this. Now, every time a variable has multiple words in it, you try to make the second word and any word after the first word a capital letter. So it's kind of easier to read. Size and then of is a new word, and then circle is another word, right? So that's a good way of doing it. So now we're going to make a orange, red circle here. We're going to name it these variables here, X dimension. So I'm going to change that to X and then dimensions. Y location needs to be lowercase, right? This one's a lowercase y, this one's an uppercase y. Let's make it a lowercase y. And again, size of circle should be no spaces and capital letters every word after the first word. Okay, so size of circle, and I think that does it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our code here. And now let's hit run, right? And now the code works. Let's go ahead and hit finish. Da-da-da. Let's go and go to step number 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and decrease my size a little bit right here so we can read the instructions a little bit better. Okay, the program has only one variable called petal size, but it uses it 8 different times. This makes it easy to quickly make lots of changes to how your picture is drawn. Change the number assigned to petal size so that the red petals touch one another. Try to find the size that makes the most sense. Compare your answer to someone else. So if I hit run here, the petals are not big enough to really make a flower. So I'm going to go with a bigger number. Let's go 100. And now it's too big, right? The circles are kind of too big. It doesn't look as pretty of a flower. So let's try a number in between. Let's try 75. Hit reset, hit run. And now it's starting to look pretty. Like maybe if I want this to look just right here. So maybe I will go 65. And 65 is a little bit too small. The petals don't actually connect. So maybe it's somewhere in between. Let's go 70. And 70 looks nice, right? The petals have a little bit of separation, but close enough to each other. It looks good. And again, this is just artistic taste. You can choose whatever size you want. This one looks good to me. Let's go to bubble number 7 and do some practice here. Changing variable value. Make the circle so big it fills up the whole screen. Okay. So again, this program uses a variable circle size to control the width and height of the circle. If you make the circle big enough, it will fill the entire screen. So let's go ahead and hit run. So the circle is big, but not big enough to cover the entire screen. So again, if you want it to cover the entire screen, even the diagonals have to be bigger than diagonal of a 200 by 200 square. So let's just go something like 600. That should be plenty. And it now covers the entire screen, right? Pretty easy there. Let's go ahead and finish. Let's try to debug the variable names. So here, variable x is equal to 50, variable y is equal to 200. You can see here it uses ellipse, but it uses a capital X instead of a lowercase x. So this one we're going to change. And over here, the y value is a capital, and this is lowercase. So this is just as simple as changing it to a y. And now I should get a deep pink 50 by a ellipse located at 50 by 100, another circle at 350 and 200, and then a rectangle who's located at 50, 200. So just go ahead and hit run and see if that's correct. So we have a circle here that looks like 50, 100, which is this one, right? Another circle over here, which is 350. If you go to the center of it, you can look here at the the number down here, 350 by 200. That looks about right. And right here, I should have a 50 by 200. And again, it's using the upper left corner. So 50, 200 on the dot, right? You can look at again, the show grid right here. You can see the number 50, 200. Okay, so that does it to that. Let's go ahead and finish. Let's go ahead and go to debug unused variables here. So in the code below, variables are created, but none of them are actually being used. Can you find a spot where they can be used? So example, right, ear size is 80 by 80. So eye size is 15, and the center is 200. So if I hit run right here, the picture of the bear is great, but we're not really using our variables. I think what they wanted to do was make these ellipses, the ear size 80. So for example, I'm supposed to use ear size right here because these two circles make up the ears, right? I can tell by the fact that they're the same. So if I change this ear size, ear size, ear size, right? Now the code will still work, but now I use the variable. And Mr. Win, why would you do this? Or why would you take the time to do this? Because now I could increase the size of the ears to 90, for example, and now I got bigger ears, or 100, right? So I could do very quick changes to the picture without sitting here and changing every number individually, right? So these are the reasons why we do use variables. Now the eye size is going to be black color, right? And it's going to be two ellipses that are 200 by 225. That looks right. So these are the two eyes right here. So these two ellipses make up the eyes, and the eyes right now are actually not the same size. Actually, no, these two are sorry. These two are the eyes. I think this one's the nose. This one definitely the nose. Yeah, that one's the nose. So the eyes are 15 by 15 pixels. So let's go ahead and replace 15 with the eye size so that if we wanted to, we could increase the size of the eyes by changing one variable instead of changing a whole bunch of numbers, right? So now that I have it all eye size, I could double up the size of the eyes to 30, and now the eyes of the bear is bigger, right? So that's again very useful. The last thing is the center. The center of the bear is at 200. So anywhere where the center is 200, I can go ahead and replace it with center. So I can always change the center of the bear. So again, changing everywhere I see 200 to 200 or to center, I could change this for now example 300, and hopefully the whole bear moves. Not quite, but anything else that uses 200 does. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that because it does not everything has center on it. But anyway, I could again use center. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and hit reset, hit run. Let's go ahead and hit finish. Okay, let's go to finish. Okay, and let's go and do the debug, the bad naming here. The following variable here can't be used because of bad naming. Fix the name and run the program. So shape size cannot have a space in it, right? Variables can't have spaces. So let's go ahead and make it yeah, no space with a capital S. So shape size equals 100. So now I can copy this and see where shape size should be. So it should be here. It should be here. Should be here. Should be here. Or alternatively, you can just get rid of the word shape and just say size, and now it should work, right? And now the code works, and now you have your stoplight. Okay, let's go and go to bubble number 8. So bubble number 8 is your assessment. I'm going to give you a hint, but I'm not going to give you the answer. The program currently draws a face, but the eyes are 2 different sizes. Change the program to use the variable for the size of both eyes, and run the code to make sure both eyes are drawn at the same size. So right here, the eye size is 27. It tells you right here that uh, that that the eyes are going to be black, and it's going to be a circle at 160, 170. So if I show the grid, 160 is somewhere right here. 170 is down here, right? So one of the eyes should be here, and the other eye is going to be at 240, which is somewhere over here at 170. So both eyes are going to be here and here, but one eye uses a width and height of eye size, which is 27, and one uses 10 and 10. So the eyes are going to look kind of like, different sizes. So fix it so that it guarantees that the eyes are both the right size. I'm not going to give you the answer again, but you guys need to fix it so that it does that. I'm not going to go, I'm just going to skip it because I'm not going to give you guys the answer. I'm going to go over the challenges for you guys, and this will end the video. So, challenge, draw a figure. Using variables, draw an image where many of the items rely on the common variable for size or placement. For example, draw a face with variable controlling the size and placement of both eyes, ears, and nostrils. Once you have your drawing completed, try changing the value of your variables to make sure the whole image changes together. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit run what they have now. I got a red and a red here. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and um, do something like, let's go ahead and make a face. Let's just do a smiley face. So I'm going to do eye size right here, var eye size, and let's just do var nose size. Okay, and I'm just going to make it, I don't know, noses are going to be um, smaller than eyes or nostrils. So let's just go 25 pixels for now. And let's do, I don't know, var smiley smile thickness or something. Okay, so let's go ahead and just draw a quick face, a quick happy face here. I'm just going to go black, keep it simple. And I'm going to have 2 ellipses. So let's go ahead and just put the eye size at, let's go, I don't have Y anymore. So let's just go, let's just show a grid. So let's say I want to put an eye right here. So that's 100 by 100. So I'm just going to go 100 by 100. That's just the location of the eye. And then I'm going to go eye size and then eye size. Okay. And then I'm going to make another circle. So that's 100 by 100. So let's say I make a smiley face over here. I'm going to go all the way to 300, 100. And again, this is for you guys to make your own, picture. You can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you an example. So if I hit run now, I got both eyes. So let's say I want to make a nose right here. That's 200, 200. So this is the eyes. And again, you can use comments like this. So eyes. And now I got nose. And it's always good to put comments in your code. So it's going to be another ellipse. I'm going to put it at 200, 200. I'm going to use the nose size, right? The variable nose size. So that if I want to change the nose size later, I can do so. So now I got a nose right here, you know, two eyes and a nose. And let's go and do a smiley face that goes from here outward like this. So I'm going to use I think I'm going to use a arc, because we learned about arcs. Let's see if I could. Okay, so we have an arc, stop and start. So let's go ahead and do a start and stop. Okay, so let's go ahead and center the circle or the arc. Let's center it right here. So this is 200, 100. Okay, and let's make the smile go like this, right? I can always change the arc later, so that's what it looks like 200 pixels. Okay, and now I need to tell it when to start and when to stop. So again, it uses 0 degrees and goes clockwise, right? So if I want a half circle like this, right, I go 0 to 180. And let's see if I get a half circle like this. Okay. And yep, I get a circle that's 200 by 200, but it's not big enough. Let's go 400 to 400. And again, this is just my smile. I'll go ahead and give a smile comment right here. Okay. And you can see here that you know, my circle is getting bigger and bigger, which is good. But I also want no fill. So I'm going to do no fill here. Turn off the fill so that I see a stroke only, right? So it's a smiley face. But I don't want to make it this, you know, from 0 to 180 like a half circle. Let's just limit it down a little bit. So let's just go to, I don't know, let's put 20 on the top, 20 off the back. So now it looks like a smiley face like this. I can do it bigger, obviously. I can go like 45 and take 45 away from 180. I think it's 135. Right, that looks a little bit more better. I can always make the stroke bigger. So I can go stroke or thickness. What's the stroke weight? Yeah, stroke weight equals, let's go like 20 pixels. Okay. Stroke weight. Oh, I think stroke weight, I think it's an argument like this. Yes, I need to give it an argument. So let's go ahead and reset, hit run. So there you go. I got a smiley face now. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and finish. Oh yeah, I need to do smiley thickness, right? So this is my smiley thickness. So I'm just gonna stick this equals 20, right? So I'm gonna use this variable over here that I created so that I can always change it here. So once you kind of finish your code, you can go in here and go, oh, let's change the picture. Let's make the eyes a little bit smaller. Let's make the nose a little bit bigger. And let's make the smile a little bit thinner, right? And I can change it all from here and my picture will now look different, right? So again, these variables are good for, and they work with this. Go ahead and finish. Okay, let's go ahead and challenge updating variables. So far we only assign a value to a variable once, but you know that you can update a variable during a program. Read through the example program we provided, run it a few times to understand how it works. Then attempt to modify the program to draw one of the following images. So if I hit run, it makes a row of 3 because there's 3 ellipses here, right? And then if I hit, and you can see here the value is getting bigger by 50, then another 50. So you can see here that the ellipses are getting, you know, linear. If I keep drawing this and keep using this code over and over again, I can easily repeat this to make it 7 more times, right? So you can see if I just copy and paste this code and keep doing it, it's going to make another ball that is 50 units to the right because X keeps getting bigger by 50. So this is how it works. X starts at 50, right? So when you make your first one, it's going to be at 50-50. So if I hit my show grid here, it's at 50-50. Then it says, hey, take the value of 50, or what's the value in here, add 50 to it, then assign it to X. So 50 plus 50 is 100. So now the new circle is at 100 and comma 50. Then it does the same thing. take the 100 or the value stored in x, which is 100, add 50 to it, and now x is 150. So 100 plus 50 is 150. So now it goes to 150. So if I want to make this pattern on top, I just repeat this a couple more times. I think 4 more times. So what I did was I took this, I copied it, right, Control C, and I just pasted it 4 more times. Make sure I put an enter space. And now if I hit reset, hit run, I have basically this picture, right? Now what if I want to go this way instead? Well, I just have to change these, right? Instead of making x go up by 50, I can make y go up by 50, right? So if I copy and paste this and paste it over these, the y value would get bigger by 50 each time. And what that does is that it makes this circle, it creates a new circle 50 pixels lower than the previous one. And voila. And how do I get to go diagonal like this? Well, you're going to combine this with this. So now you can make one where it says x equals x plus 50. So basically every single subsequent circle is going to move diagonally. So going to the right by 50, down 50, right 50, down 50, right 50, down 50, kind of like the slope formula for mathematics here. So if I just add this code, not replace it, but add this code, I should be able to accomplish that task of making it go diagonal. Okay, and now if I hit reset, hit run, right? Very cool. Okay, string variable. Use variables for colors. So now we got crimson, cora, gold, and azure, as we only assign a number value to a variable. But did you know you can give a string value to a variable? Read through the example program we provided and modify the program to create new images with different colors. So basically, you could make string variables, or what we call a string, right, or a bunch of letters or words, and store it into a variable. For example, now instead of doing this, right, we could replace the gold color, which is this color right here. Color 1 is crimson, so it's going to make a crimson polygon right here. Then it's going to make a gold polygon or hexagon right here, right? And then it's going to make a, let's see, starts at 200. Oh, it's making a bigger one. Sorry. So the first one, the crimson, is the biggest pentagon, right? And then it's going to make a smaller size hexagon, which is coral. And then it's going to make color 3, which is gold, right? A gold 7-sided polygon. I think it's a septagon. And then it's going to make a color 4, which is just an ellipse that's white color in the middle. Okay. So right here it says, read through the example we provided and then modify the program to create new images with different colors. So let's say you don't want to make it gold. Say you want to make it, I don't know, green, right? What if you don't want to do azure for the circle in the middle? What if you want brown, right? So you can hit reset, hit run, and you can see here we can change the pictures by just changing the colors right here. So let's say instead of coral, I just want white, right? So we got white in between. What if we want to do, I don't know, blue? Okay, right? Changing the color relatively easily just by changing the variable names. Okay, so it's kind of cool that we can not only store numbers, we can store words, right? Or strings. That's what we call them. Okay, and done. We're done. All right, guys. So you guys can go ahead and free play and design stuff that you like for the rest of the period. But go ahead and use this video to get all your answers correct. And again, make sure you guys do the challenges because that's what I'm going to grade. Have a nice day. See you guys later.